Well, you'll never guess where I am. This is Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. And this is a Navy base. I'm not going to say anything more, but I was there in 1958, just before I got out of the Navy. Joined 55 to 58, a little over 3 years in the Navy. Minority enlistment is what they called it. So I was here on a destroyer for a shakedown cruise. And we won't get into that right now, but what we're going to do is we're going to take off and we're going to fly along Cuba. And we'll take this off and we will accelerate like a scalded cat. And we're already there. We can rotate, gear up, and we'll just check out what's here in the harbor. And then we're going to fly along Cuba.
Experimental 7, Sierra Bravo, continue for east departure. Experimental 7, Sierra Bravo, leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
Tower Experimental Flight 27, Sierra Bravo, frequency
I don't know
change.
where the naval facilities, I guess there's an old runway right there. I might have taken off from that runway. Here's where the ships, I guess, tied up right along in here. But again, I don't know. And we're climbing, so let's go out of here and get back on the tail. And we're going to shoot up along Cuba here. And we have the afterburners on, and we'll get up to here we're just almost up to Mach 1. There, we just went through. And we'll get back on the tail. And the course is set to go to Miami, but we are going to go to Havana. And what happened when I got down to Guantanamo Bay was I got a transfer. I had 6 months left to go in the service. And we won't get into how I got the transfer, but I think somebody had a hand in it. So I transferred out of a situation which was a shakedown cruise. Is you get tested, and I probably needed the testing, but I also was getting ready to get out of the service, 6 months away. And they transferred me to an experimental destroyer in Groton, Connecticut, which is right by New London. I forget the name of the river. It might be Groton River there. Not the Connecticut River, but anyway. My sister went to Connecticut College for Women, and I went to Groton, and that's where the Nautilus was stationed. And probably we worked out with the Nautilus, but back then a nuclear sub could run circles around a surface ship. And as soon as if we had to go over 15 knots, we could not ping forward. We could not look at anything in front of us. So. The nuclear sub, anyway, it's just running circles around us. But I may have operated, I don't know for sure. The Nautilus is still there in Groton. I think it, whether it's on land or what. So anyway, we just kicked into the scramjets while I was talking. We're down a little low for that, so it objects to the thick air, but we need to go as fast as we can because what happened when I got transferred, they gave me a week or two leave. I can't remember, it might have been 10 days once I hit the States. So I got a flight on a P-2V Neptune twin-engine patrol plane that was built toward the end of the war, and it probably cruised at about 250 miles an hour, and I didn't know it when I climbed aboard. I figured I'd be in Miami in 30 minutes, Maybe an hour, but I think I thought it might be 30 minutes back then. And we're going to climb, and we're going to see we got to get back here to the right now to catch, and we can pull it up on this chart here. 200. Yeah, we're going right down the middle of Cuba. We'll stick to the north coast because that will come up to Havana. No, actually, if we just stick going down the center, like we were going, this is Havana, right here. I think we're gonna see Havana. One of these is gonna be. That's the name of the war hero. And let's go in here, and let's try this one. Havana. Baracoa. Havana. And so we want to go right at that, and we'll go back out. Make sure we go by Havana. Here we go. We're going right down the center of Cuba, and that's what we'll look at right now. And let's see how the sun is set here, because we can get a better resolution. Well, we're pretty close to noon. It's right where I was. That's as good as it's going to get right there. Cuba, I don't know what that is right up there, but let's go up to the right, and that is I think that's part of the Bahamas right there. It's got another name. Well, let's see if we get the name. Andros. That's Andros Island. And then this may be Bahamas. Nassau. There's Nassau. My dad went to Nassau. And then, of course, right over here is Miami. About 50, 75 miles across there. Might be 100 miles across there. So I climbed on. We're 100,000 feet. I climbed aboard the P2V Neptune, expecting I'd be in Miami in about an hour, and the mission of the aircraft was night navigation over water. So they flew around the Gulf of Mexico at night navigation over water, and they flew around there at night, and we'll probably be able to see up here and see the Keys, Key West. I think it's about 60 miles away. It's right here. Key West, and that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to go fly up to Key West. We're going to abandon Havana. Well, let's look at how this water comes in here, and see if we're right over Havana. Yeah, we're not quite there. So see how this arm comes out right there? That's right over here. This little sticks right there, and then just past there, right in here. So let's fly over Havana first. I won't get to do that again. And we're going to keep it around 100,000, but we don't have a flight simulator. So we'll look down at Havana, and Havana isn't far from Key West. So then we're gonna zig up to Key West. We may it'll take too long. You've been at Key West before, and we just flew out of Key West to fly through Hurricane Milton. And we flew up over Tampa. We had to end up in South Carolina, landing in South Carolina. So we'll say hi to Havana. Right there is Havana, Cuba. Right there. And so then we'll fly out into the Gulf like the P2V Neptune. And of course, the P2V Neptune was going. It had radial engines, twin radial engines. Didn't have the jet additions to a modification. Later on, they put a couple of jet engines on it. And anyway, let's look down here at the end of Cuba. Let's look back up at Key West. Key West is right there at the end of the Keys coming out. Southernmost end of Florida. Let's get back inside here. Okay, so we're about 200 miles from Miami at this point. That should be increasing. Yeah, that's increasing. And where are we? We're at 100,000 feet. Anyway, we're going Mach 9.7, so we're maxed out. And so we'll fly out into the Gulf of Mexico, about halfway out, and then we'll turn around and let's do this. So we go 1, 2. So let's see here. We're 200 miles away. 1, 2. Okay. 107. And we're heading right out into the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. You'll just have to take my word that we're down here is going to be Yucatan Peninsula. This is Cancun right here. And then straight up is going to be New Orleans up at the top here. Let's see here. Yeah, so this is going to be New Orleans right here. And let's see if this is no. Let's see what this says. Seidel, Louisiana. Let's see what this says. That's going to be it. That's Louis Armstrong. Okay, we're 136. We don't need to quite get that high. So that's New Orleans. Let's see how we're doing here. See, we'll go straight down and see if we see our airplane before we see Cancun. There's Cancun. I mean, that's the Yucatan Peninsula sticking up there. We'll go back up, see if we see our airplane. There's our airplane. So we're about out in the middle, and so you can see, get out here in the middle, and you're out of sight of land. It's just it's like you're on your own ocean. See, you don't see any land out here. So I got it in. I'll bring it around. We're at 150,000. We're going to bring it around and start it turning to head back to Miami. And we're down below Mach 9. We can let the nose drop a little bit. Now we're dropping. We're losing altitude, but we're high enough that we don't have to worry about hitting anything. And we just want to turn around to where we're heading back east. So we were out over the Gulf of Mexico for the night navigation, training young officers how to navigate, and we call that celestial navigation. Let's see how we're doing in here. So we see the nose is a little bit low, so I gotta back off on the bank. See the nose coming back up, and you'll see this little green line come up to level. See, it's coming up. There it comes. So we got the nose on the horizon, and if we really get so we're starting to see, maybe we're looking at Louisiana. What are we heading? Yeah, we're coming up on north. So that's Louisiana up there, so we'll get pretty close to New Orleans, I guess. And then we'll just hightail it back down to Miami, back up to Mach 9. And let's see outside. We're going to see a little air, and if we come back up here, and see where we are here. Yeah, we're coming right into New Orleans. So you get this thing up to Mach 10 and it's hard to turn around. So now we're heading north, slowly coming around. We are dropping down in altitude. So this is where the Mississippi, this is the Delta, Mississippi Delta right here. And then we'll shoot down the coast of Florida. We'll see how fast we get turned around. And we're going to see out in here, here's Pensacola probably. Yeah, there's Pensacola right there. So whether we get to wave to Pensacola, KPNS, we'll see. Yeah, we're probably going to go right over Pensacola. Slowly turning. We're at 0.9.98, but we're losing altitude. We're back down to 100,000 feet, so we'll see if we can hold right around 100,000. We'll go back inside and pull the nose up. We got up to Mach 10. We're dropping like a rock. Probably go right over Pensacola. Let's see here. Now we're climbing back up to 100. Coming around. Coming around. We can see how Florida, the Gulf Coast. So we're past, we passed Pensacola yet? Here's Pensacola. So we'll look down at Pensacola. That's Pensacola. Okay. So we'll look down here and see if we see Pensacola. And we're climbing again. Let's see if we see. I think I see. Right here. Here's an airport right there, and I forget, Pensacola might be on this side. I can't quite remember. Yeah, that's just a road there. So let's see, Pensacola. Yeah, PNS. So it would be right down there somewhere. That might be Pensacola right there. This could be an air base right there. That looks suspicious. Excuse me. Okay. So we want to start heading down to Miami. We're back up to 186,000 feet. We're still at Mach 9. Still at Mach 9. So we'll kind of watch as we go down the coast. We got to move the sun a little bit. Let's move the sun. So we want to head for Miami. And we got to go down just a little bit more. We're coming around. Let's see how this runs right there. I think that's going to do it. Right about there. Just flying right down this angle right here. Looks like it'll get us pretty close to Miami. A little bit more around about 130 130 degrees. So Mach 9.9, wow, 229,000 feet. I didn't know that at 200,000 feet that it could get up so fast. Look, we can see the whole state of, we can see the east coast of Miami right here. Okay, I think that we're going to go 130 degrees and hope we see Miami. And let's try the night scene. And we'll stop on 130. And we got Florida at night. And I don't know whether you can see this or not. There's 130 and we're flying down to Miami. So the brightest area. This could be where we are right now. Let's see where we are right now. It's pretty good. So we could see there's Tampa. I think this is Tampa and Tampa Bay right there above us, and looking across Lake Okeechobee and on down to Miami. Miami's going to be right down there. So where Jacksonville is, we could be right about over Jacksonville. So we'll just go with the flow here. We're down to 160,000 feet. And I think that's pretty good. Let's see how we're doing here. Coming across. Yeah, we got to keep going to the right. Miami's right down there. So let's see what we're headed at right here. What is this? Fort Pierce, Florida. Let's see what else is right in there. Fort Pierce. Stuart, Florida. So that's where all the golfers go to, Stuart. And my cousin had a place there in can't think of it right now. So we got to keep coming around. Miami's right down there. So let's get the lights back on. Yeah, that's not going to do it. Right here. Right there. Yeah, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. Oh, and I gotta start shutting down here. Got to shut down. Turn off the scramjet. Scramjets. And we're getting down there. Right down the beach, right down to Miami. We'll go down the coast and then land going back in. Let's get a little more perspective here. Here we go. Here we go. Leveling off at 40,000. Let's see how we're heading here. Yeah, we're just going right down the coast. Big lake out next to us here. Oh, there it is, right there. Lake Okeechobee, right there. Let's see if we have our afterburners on. We gotta kick those back on. Keep us going. Yeah, don't know what's going on here. Here we go. Kick it on. There we go. Usually you can just click it. I don't know what's happening there. Okay, we're Mach 3. And we're going down here. How are we doing on that? Miami. Oh, there's Miami right there. There's Miami right there. Yeah, we shot right by Miami Beach. Right by Miami Beach. 8,000 feet. So we'll call them and see if they want us to land on runway 9, something like that. Down to 200. Doing pretty good. Oop. Okay, we got to find Miami. We're going to go right over Miami Beach. I think that's the airport right out there.
Miami Tower Experimental 527 Sierra Bravo is 12 miles southeast 5,800 feet with Sierra to land.
Experimental 527 Sierra Bravo, Miami Tower. Altimeter 29.9, 2 wind calm. Make left traffic runway 9er.
Left traffic, runway 9. Okay.
Make left traffic runway 9er, Experimental 7 Sierra Bravo.
Okay, so it's going to be right out, right, oh, here it is, right there. Left traffic, runway 9. And drop down a little bit. Get in behind here. We'll look around Miami a little bit. Look out to Miami Beach right there. There's downtown Miami, right over to the right. And the airport coming alongside here. When I flew in from with the Comanche, we made a left downwind to runway 9. We landed going back in that way. I can't remember where the general aviation was.
Experimental 7 Sierra Bravo, wind calm, clear to land runway 9er.
We'll put the wheels down. Come on around and land.
Experimental 7 Sierra Bravo, did you copy?
Yep. Forgot to let you know though.
Clear to land runway 9er, Experimental 7 Sierra Bravo.
About right. I think I landed on this runway. A little bit of a yo-yo.
Experimental 7 Sierra Bravo, contact ground on 121.8.
Okay.
Experimental 7 Sierra Bravo, acknowledge last transmission.
121.8 Experimental 7 Sierra Bravo. Goodbye. Miami Ground Experimental 527 Sierra Bravo, request taxi to parking.
Experimental 527 Sierra Bravo, taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway November 6 November Whiskey 12.
Taxiing to general aviation parking via taxiway November Whiskey 12 Experimental 7 Sierra Bravo.
Okay, there we go. And we go back in here and shut it off. That ought to do the trick. Wow, we ended up going over New Orleans. I never saw lights or anything out in the middle. And I don't know whose parking we're in here, but here's Miami International. Big airport. Huge airport. Look at, they got one and two. They got two towers. Yeah, they got more runways over that way. So we're to the left. And of course, we were eastbound when we landed. Okay, that's your Guantanamo story and how I got to Miami. Then I hopped on a bus, went the Tamiami Trail across here, so we got to go back out. So I took a Tamiami Trail from Miami across the forget the name of the swamps. The Seminole Indians are out there. Anyway, ended up here at Sarasota. This may be Sarasota here. Fort Myers, that's close to Sarasota. Let's see where we got Sarasota. Fort Myers. Let's see here. No. Venice. They're all close. They're all close. We'll try right up here. I don't know what that is. St. Peter's, Clearwater. Anyway, somewhere along in there, Tampa Bay is along in there too. But Sarasota's right along in there. Punta Gorda, that's south of Sarasota. Okay, enough of that. Thanks for riding along. Take care. Bye-bye.